Hi guys, it's Melanie and welcome back to the Crafting Corner. So today I'm going to be showing you a craft that is for a family session. This is a craft called Make My Face. So this is something that your whole family can join in and do together. So I'm just going to show you some examples that we have. These are a few, there's like 6 or 7 here, so I'm just going to show you a few. So these are some of the templates that we have that are made with dyes and things like that. So these, they use like yarn and things like that for the hair. Some things that you could use around your house, you can use like bottle caps for eyes, you can use buttons and things like that. Just anything you could find around your house just to make a nice little face. And this one has like a mustache and glasses that they made out of yarn. And then some of the girls here, these girls both have like pigtails made out of yarn. And then this one has like nice little feathers on it. And then they made the lips out of yarn as well. And then these are like nice little eyes that you can get probably from like your local craft store and things like that. And then this one is a nice face with construction paper. If you just have like construction paper at home, like different color construction paper, you can do this craft as well. You don't need all the things that I've just shown you. You can use just construction paper. This one is purple, and then they use for like the mouth, they use like orange, and then they just drew in like the little pupils and things like that. So I'm just gonna show you some things that you're going to need for this craft. So I have a stack of cardboard cutout circles. So this is like the front, and then the back is white. So this is just a stack of them right here. And then some of the things that you can use that I'm going to be using today, I have some handy glue sticks with me right here. I have markers, the skinny ones and the thick ones, you can use whichever. I also have some like cut up strips of tissue paper that you can use. There's also, we have a bunch of different colors of yarn, things like that. And then I also have some construction paper. This one is white, but a bunch of different colors of construction paper that you can use. And then here I have, just like I showed you with some of the examples, like with this one, these are the eyes that they use. So yes. And then one more thing that you're gonna need, probably scissors. So I'm going to get started on one of these. So I'm just gonna take one of my cardboard cutouts, and I'm going to start with some yarn that we have. So I'm going to take some gray. Yeah, I'm gonna take some gray. So what I'm gonna use this for right now is the hair. So I'm just gonna cut, kind of like this guy here, I'm just gonna cut some pieces and glue it to like the top. So let's start cutting. So I'm just gonna guesstimate really about how much I want to cut off and how long I want his hair to be. So I think about right here should be fine. So this is about how long it is. You guys can see. So then I'm just going to measure a bunch of these out and make them the same. And cut them the same. So that's 2. Sometimes they might get stuck, so you're just gonna have to pull them apart. And with hair, you can also, it doesn't have to be like standard colors. You can make them any colors you want. I'm just doing gray for like an older, to kind of make like an older man. You can use like purple, blue, your favorite colors, things like that. I need a bunch of hair. keep measuring, and you want to make sure that you have enough for whichever part of the face that you're gonna do.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take the yarn that I have, and what I'm gonna do just to make it so it goes faster, I'm gonna take the yarn and wrap it around all 4 of my fingers and just keep wrapping. So then at the end I can cut it and it goes quicker instead of just cutting it individually. I'm gonna keep wrapping until I think it's enough. Okay, I think that's good. So now what I'm gonna do, okay, so a better way to do this is you would have to slip it off your fingers, and then you can cut the top, and then you can cut the bottom, so you don't hurt yourself while you're doing this. So you grab, and then you cut like that. Then you do the same thing with the bottom. Just have to make sure you hold them all together so you don't miss any. You cut through the bottom. Try and get all of them in there, hopefully. Yeah, as many as I can. Okay, and then cut the bottom. So I have a bunch of these little pieces of hair that I can use. So I have a little extra here too. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just gonna see if I have enough pieces, which I'm pretty sure I do. I'm gonna grab some glue. This one's a little long, I'm gonna cut it down just a bit. Okay, great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the glue on here first. I'm gonna move these out of the way just a little bit. I'm gonna put the glue on where I think I want the hair to be. Just a small area. You don't wanna put it like all the way around like the face, because that's too much, and you don't want it to dry out too if you use too much. So I'm gonna start and just put a little bit on the top of the head, basically. So I'm gonna start with that, and then I'm just gonna start placing these little hairs on top. And you wanna make sure that you press down on the yarn so it sticks. So I have a bunch of these. And you can put them as close together as you want, or you can separate them a little bit. I'm putting mine just closer together, just because I like the look of it. But you can do it as you please. Make sure you're pressing down on it. And like I said before, you can use different colors. You can do one color for one, and then the next one could be a different color. You can use a whole bunch of different colors, like a rainbow type of hair. And if you can, try and make sure that the hair is even. Okay. Kind of a quarter of a way there. Alright, some of mine are a little uneven, so I'm just pushing them in. Some of them might be a little longer than the other, but that's okay. Okay. Almost halfway. Some of these I might clip at the end just to make it look more uniform or more all together. This can take some time, so just make sure that you're patient. Okay. Okay. A little more than halfway, I think. Push down. Okay. Getting to the very end here. And this one's extra long. I don't know if you guys could see, but I'm gonna be cutting this one down. I'm gonna be cutting a bunch of them down actually. Okay, right at the end. Okay, I think there's one or two more that I can get in here. Let's see if I can add one more. Okay, great. So now this is what the top part of his head is looking like, the hair. Some of these, as you can see, are long, like this one's extra long. So I'm just gonna go back in and trim some of them so they're about the same. I'm gonna make sure it's all straightened out. And like ones that I see that are extra long, then I'm just gonna trim them so they're more of the same size as the others. So like this one, trim that one, and that one down a little bit. This one. This one here, and then I think this one is the last one. Yeah. So yeah, that looks a little better. They're a little more aligned. So yeah. So now basically what I'm gonna do is I am going to do, I'm gonna do the eyes. So I'm gonna use the eyes that we have over here. And for these, you're gonna have to have your mom and your dad. So basically what I'm gonna do with the eyes, instead of these ones that you have here, I'm gonna draw them out. So you guys can see how it looks like drawn out. So I'm going to use one of my thin markers here in black. And so I'm going to draw, So I'm gonna draw these eyes. I'm not sure if you guys can kind of see them, but I'm gonna draw one right here. I'm gonna draw the outline of one, and then just try and make them spaced out the way that I want them to. They're not exactly the same, that's okay. Then I'm gonna draw the little pupil on the inside. And then I'm gonna draw his nice little eyebrows on top. So basically the eyebrows are just like one curved line. Same thing on the other side. Sometimes you have to go over it a few times so it's dark enough. So this is what his eyes look like. So I just did the two eyes right there and drew in the little pupils. And then I did the two eyebrows. So now what I'm going to do is the nose. I'm going to use, let's see, I think we have some pom-poms in here, yes. So I'm going to use some of these pom-poms that we have. I'm going to just pick a color. I'm gonna go with, ooh. So I'm gonna take one of the blue ones out, and use that one. So I'm gonna take my glue and I'm gonna put a little circular spot where I think I wanna place it. So I think this is where I wanna do it. So I'm gonna put a little circle there with the glue. And then I'm going to push down on the pom-pom for a second. Hold it just to make sure. Let's make sure. Yep. So this is what his nose looks like right now. So now what I'm going to do is the mouth. And let me see what I'm gonna use for that. I'm gonna use some construction paper that we have. So I'm gonna basically draw it. Let's see, what color? I'm gonna use red. And I'm just gonna draw out the face with a pencil. If I can find it, okay, here we go. So I'm gonna draw out the mouth. So it's gonna be, let's see. I'm gonna draw it out with the pencil first, just to make sure I like it, and if I wanna erase it and change it, I can do that. So I'm kind of drawing like a stick shift bird. Kind of looks like a stick shift bird. Then I'm coming around and I'm making the line in the middle. Let's see if I like that. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick with that one. And then what I'm gonna do to make it so that it's more prominent and bold, I'm gonna go and outline it with this. Go around the whole lip here. And that's what it looks like. And then I'm gonna take my scissors. I'm gonna cut it out right along the line. You don't have to make this type of lip, I just decided to make it. You can make like just a straight line, you can make some squiggly lines. There's a few examples that have zigzag lines, so you can really do the smile however you want. Okay. So now that I cut this out, this is what it looks like right here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take my glue again, and I'm gonna put it on the back of the lips here. So let's see. I'm just gonna put it along the lips here, and then I'm gonna put it, see where I'd like to place it, and press down. Okay. So this is what it looks like now. And so basically what I'm gonna do now, let's see what other materials we have. We're gonna do some ears. So let me see, I have brown, I'm gonna use brown for the ears. Okay, so now I'm just gonna trace out the ears. Some ears, they look like this. Some people just drew out ears like this. So I'm just gonna draw them however I see I want them. So let's see. I'm gonna trace it out with the pencil again first. So I'm gonna fold this just so it's easier for me to just do one ear, and then I'll just cut it out so it makes 2 ears so it's quicker. So I'm gonna do it, fold it like this, and then I'm gonna do it right on the edge so it's just easier to cut. So I'm just gonna make a simple ear. Like this. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So you guys can see this is what my ear looks like on this side. And now I'm gonna just cut it so that it comes out and it makes 2. So I'm gonna cut it right along the line. Go all around. And then there's 2. So it comes out like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut right down where the line is so it makes it 2. So right here, right down the middle. Great. So now I'm just gonna figure out how I want my ears to go. I think I want to place them like this. So now I'm just going to take some of my glue again. And I'm going to put it on the cardboard. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here. And then stick it on like that. Push down on it. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And so this is what my first face looks like. So with the ears and everything, this is what might not look exactly like a certain type of face, but that's okay, it's still somebody's face. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this one up here with the other ones, and now I'm going to do another one, but with construction paper. So I'm going to use construction paper and I'm going to use tissue paper too. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab a random sheet of construction paper, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it on top of my cardboard cutout here. And I'm going to flip it around and then just trace it. So I have the cutout circle on my piece of construction paper. And trace it with a pencil. All the way around. So this is what it looks like on the paper. So now I'm just going to cut out this circle here. As best as you could get it on the line. All the way around. And also you don't have to use the same color construction paper again It's whatever you have or whatever you can get. I just chose yellow. All the way around.
Thank you.
Okay. And we're gonna put this to the side over here. And so this is what my yellow piece of construction paper looks like now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue this on top of here. So I'm gonna take some of my glue and I'm gonna put it on this side. So I'm gonna put the glue all the way around on here and in the middle too, just to make sure that it sticks all the way. Okay. And now I'm gonna place it down. If it's a little off, that's okay, as long as you get like the general circle. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some of my tissue paper and I'm gonna put some hair on here. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna pick which color I want. I think we have enough of this blue here. So I'm gonna take some of this blue, I'm gonna use it for the hair. Let's see. So this one has a few strips of tissue paper here. So I'm gonna cut some of it down just so it's like a little shorter. So on second thought, I just pulled out a bunch of different color pieces of tissue paper. So I'm just gonna do rainbow hair so it's nice and fun and it's not just one color hair. So when I'm done doing what I have to do on here, I'm gonna scrunch them up and then I'm gonna put them on here. So what I have to do first is I'm gonna show you guys how I'm just gonna outline the hair that I wanna do. So I'm just gonna take my pencil, I'm just gonna outline it however you want. You can make whatever type of hair you want to do. I'm just going to do it like this. So it's a nice little swoop here. So it looks like that. So I'm going to outline it with another one of my nice markers here. I'm going to use the thin one, just so I know where to stop putting my hair. Go right along the line. So now it looks like this. So I can better tell like when to stop putting my hair. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take all of this tissue paper here and I'm just gonna start cutting some smaller pieces. I'm gonna line them up and just start cutting some smaller pieces so I can start scrunching them up. So I'm gonna start with the purple. And just cut a few pieces. Doesn't matter how big or how small. Some of the blue is already clumped up together, so I'm gonna do that too. They don't have to be even, really doesn't matter. And just a few pieces here. Those, and then have some dark blue. I'm gonna take a bunch of these and then just cut them so it goes a little quicker. Have some brown here, some dark green. Also have, I think, like this nice fuchsia pinkish color. And we have some gray. We have some more, this is like a teal that you see here. And then some more light green colors too. So I'm just gonna cut these into smaller pieces. I think this should be enough. So those right there. Some more pieces there. There. This one. And now we're going to have a bunch of nice little sheets to use for our hair. Might not need all of them, but just in case, better to be safe than sorry. So now I'm just gonna start crumpling a bunch of them up so we can start putting them on top of the hair. You could take a bunch of them together and crumple them up so it's easier for you. Make sure you have them separated though, because some of them might be put together if they're the same color. So these, some more like lime green, navy blue here. I'm gonna try and get some other colors in here too. Nice fuchsia. I'm gonna go with the light blue next, and then some brown. They don't have to be all the way crinkled up too. And like I said, you can make them different sizes if you want. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. If you want it to look a different way. We have some red here now. Gonna get a little more purple. Some more of the green and the fuchsia. I'm just gonna keep going until I think it's enough to fill it up. Some more of the blues. And you don't have to put them like you see here. This is just in a pile. You don't have to separate them because they're gonna be all around your like hairline and things like that. So now I'm gonna start, after this one, I'm gonna start sticking them on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my glue. I'm only gonna put this in a small section at first so I don't let the glue dry out. So I'm gonna start and put it in this corner over here. Okay, and now I'm gonna just start putting some of it on. Just taking random ones, doesn't matter. Make sure I press down on it so it sticks. Take the light blue here. If they hang off a little, it's okay. It's hair. Take some of the light green. And if they go over the line that you created too, that's okay, as long as they don't like cover up the eyes or anything like that. Take some of the light purple. Just want to make sure you're pressing down on it so it sticks. Don't get any brown in there. Some dark blue. And now I filled that section, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to put some more glue. Since this is a small section, I'm going to go right around, put glue there. So now I'm going to finish and I'm going to put on the rest of mine. I might need to crinkle up some more, but we'll see. Same thing, just pressing down. This little section might need a little glue. Might come to realize that some sections might not have glue, so you might have to add some. So I just added some glue there so that this one can stick better. Starting to look like nice rainbow hair. Almost kind of halfway there. And I'm just doing it so I don't put like some of the same colors like right next to each other, just so like the colors are just mixed in together. Okay. Fuchsia again. And the darker green. And blue. Gonna use another fuchsia, so it's another color here. I'm gonna take some red. And I think I'm gonna use just one more over here. See if it'll fit. Yes. So this is what my hair looks like, some nice rainbow colored hair that we have on top. So now what we're gonna do, we don't need the tissue paper anymore. And I didn't mention, but the tissue paper that you can use, if you were with us for last week's videos, you can use some of the extra tissue paper that you have. So you probably have just a little extra. So you can use that as well. So I'm just gonna move these to the side here. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the rest of the face. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna do the eyes. And I'm gonna grab a piece of construction paper and use pink this time. I'm gonna draw out the eyes again with my pencil. So I'm gonna draw them out. I'm gonna fold it like I did before, just to make it easier. Fold it down. And now I'm just gonna draw out the eyes. Gonna make them kind of circular this time. I'm gonna draw the pupils in right after I cut this. So now this is what it looks like. And now I'm gonna cut it again. So it cuts into two. These are gonna be kind of wide eyes. That's okay. And then I'm gonna cut it again in half. So now I'm gonna kind of put them on like that. So now what I'm gonna do, this is what these look like. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some glue on the back of these and then put them on to my other piece of construction paper. I'm gonna kind of space them out the way I want. Make sure I press them on so they stick. Same thing with the other one. This is what it looks like right now. And I'm gonna use some, if we have some black tissue paper, I'm gonna try and use that for the pupils. See if I can find some here. I can't find any in here, so I'm gonna use some dark blue for the pupils. So there's one, and here's another green. So now I'm just gonna crumple them up like I did with the hair into tiny pieces. You wanna try and get these smaller because they're going in for like an eyeball. Same thing with the other one. I'm gonna put some glue on the pink eyes so I can glue them down. Nice little circle. Take a small one push it down. Do the same thing for the other side. Push it down to make sure it sticks. So it looks like this. And now I'm going to go to the nose. So I'm going to use a different color construction paper for the nose. I'm going to go with this light green here. So I'm going to, since this is not like a duplicate, I'm just going to try and draw it out a little bit. And I'm going to see how I want to do it. So I'm going to trace it out again in pencil. Let's see. This. Okay, if you make a mistake, that's why we use pencil. Adjust it to make it look the way you want it to. So this is what mine looks like. Has I drew two little nostrils there. So I'm gonna cut it out and see how it looks on top. Around. This one may be a little, depending on how you draw your nose, this one might be a little trickier if you use construction paper to cut out. But just be patient. Okay. And then cut it like this. Okay. So this is how mine came out. And I'm going to see where I want to place it on my face. Okay, so now once I figured out where I want to put it, I take my glue again. I'm going to put it on the back of my nose. I'm going to take some glue. Make sure it's enough so that it sticks. And I'm going to place it right in the middle, right between the eyes. And push it down. So that's how my nose looks right now. Has little nostrils. So now I'm going to do the mouth. I'm going to use a different color for that too. So, ooh, I see that I think we have some orange. So I'm going to use some orange for the mouth. So let's see, I'm going to see what type of mouth I want to do. Okay. So now I'm going to, again, with my pencil, so just in case I make a mistake, draw it out. Have a nice good old eraser. I'm gonna actually see if I can draw some teeth. Okay, so this is what my little mouth looks like. I drew in some teeth just so it's different, so it looks like a person. So I'm gonna cut out my little mouth here. And now I'm going to figure out how I want to place it. I'm going to take my black marker again, and I'm going to trace out the teeth just so it's more bold and people can see it. So I'm going to go right along the lines here. Trace out the teeth. Go right along the edge, outer edge, and trace it. And then I'm going to trace the bottom teeth too. And then I'm going to trace just a little bit on my nostrils, just so it pops out too. Same thing. So now I'm going to take my glue again. I'm going to put it on the back of my mouth. Yes. And now I'm going to place it where I think I want it. I'm going to put mine a little to the side, just so it looks like their mouth is going that way. Yes, like this. And push down on it. Close my glue. And this is what my face looks like, with the mouth, the nose, nice little eyes. So these are the two ones that I did today. This one, I'm going to add some ears in a second, but I just wanted to show you how different both of these are. This one has like nice hair with the yarn, and then I made hair out of like tissue paper, rainbow colored hair. So now I'm going to do the ears. I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take brown again. I'm going to do a different type of ear this time. So I'm going to make it kind of like this one. So I'm going to trace it out again on half of the construction paper. And actually what I'm going to do first is I'm going to trace it on one side, and then when I cut it out on the other side, I'll trace that one too. So it comes out like this on the bottom right here. So now I'm going to cut it. Right next to the black line, so I'm not cutting off the black line. Once again, comes out like this, so I have to cut it right down the middle. And I'm going to trace this side that doesn't have any tracing on it. Right along the outside, just so both ears look the same. Out like this. So now I'm going to just see where I want to put them. And I figured out where I want to put them. I'm going to take my glue again. I'm going to put some glue on the yellow construction paper. And then just place it down. And do the same thing for the other side. Just like that. Close up my glue again. And this is what my final face looks like. So these again, are the two types that I made today. I used a bunch of different things for both of them. So again, I used the yarn, some pom-poms for this one, some construction paper, and also some construction paper for the ears. And I also, for this one, I used some nice tissue paper, crumpled up tissue paper, some construction paper for the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Then just traced it. And then again, these are some of the other ones that we did before the video. There's a bunch of different varieties that you guys can make. The googly eyes, as you see here, you can get these at like one of your local like craft stores, or like Walmart, things like that. The yarn for the hair, like this one, I used the braids. I just braided the yarn together. And then we have the eyes here. Same thing for this one. The yarn for the hair, this person actually colored like the background first. So you can, if you wanted to do that, you could color the background instead of using like construction paper. And they also use like the feathers in here to add just nice little embellishment for earrings. And then they use the yarn for the lips. And then this one is the one where you can use just all construction paper. This person traced out like the circle, and then they did the hair around it. And then they cut out the mouth, the nose, and the eyes as well. So you can do these however you want. And this one, just to show for contrast with like mouths and things like that, people, you can do like nice little squiggly lines. You could do like these nice zigzag lines for like a smile if you wanted to. And this one, they use the pom-poms and the googly eyes too. So there's a bunch of different ways that you guys can do these. This is a nice fun craft that you guys can sit down and do together as a family. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys come back again for another craft video. Thanks again, guys. Bye.